Hi, hi Abhishek. Okay, so hey, and quickly introduce about me, myself, Vijay, and I'm being working on Tableau for the past 2.5 years, and my overall experience is around 6 years in IT. And my core skills are SQL Server development, Teradata development, and of course Tableau dashboard development and server administration. So the experience of working with Tableau is very nice, and the tool, of course, I've seen a couple of other tools as well in my experience, Bob J, MSBI, MicroStrategy. But I would say I feel interesting when I'm working on Tableau. So that's how I started, trainings in Tableau where I could able to share my knowledge to others as well, and at the same time I could able to make some money. So this is what the intentions and the classes will pretty much cover entire things on Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So I hope you understand Tableau desktop is a client where we develop our reports, and server is a platform that there we deploy our reports. So before getting into this, I would be happy if you could introduce yourself and what is your skill and whether you're a fresher or you have any experience on reporting or database earlier or what is that?
Uh, Hi Vijay, this is Abhishek here. I have 2.5 years of experience. I'm currently working in analytics, and I am presently I have to work on dashboards and stuff. So I thought that, as I understand that Tableau is a great visualization tool, so that was one of the main motivations for me to attend this meeting early morning.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So working on analytics.
And I
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in analytics field right now. So I previous to my I just finished my MBA. I'm a 2014 pass out, and previous to that I was a Java SQL developer, mostly on the Java side itself.
Yeah. Okay, so from your, I could able to get few things because Tableau we have certain things called APIs where you need certain Java knowledge. I cannot use APIs because I don't have much Java knowledge in my side. So if you have that, you could go to advanced level of Tableau. So I'm not sure that I could able to cover all the things related to API, but I could just give two or three examples in our classes, what is API and where that is required. So that's great. So working on analytics and reporting, dashboarding could give enough knowledge or easy way to understand what Tableau does. At the same time, you have good experience in Java, which seems you could able to go into the advanced level of APIs in Tableau. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so now I would say,
Hi, this is
yeah.
this is Satya here.
Okay, hey, I'm
This
sorry. Hi
is
Satya.
Satya. Actually, I have around yeah. Actually, I have around 8 years plus experience. So currently, I am working into the big data, like Big, Hive, Uzi, etc. Also, we have Tableau in our project even.
Uh-huh.
So actually, I am not working on the Tableau like someone else is working on Tableau. So I just want to get through. I mean, go through it and I can understand. I can student. I can also get say hands-on in the project itself.
Good, that's nice. I was not hearing you from the beginning, so
Hello.
I thought only Abhishek and Satya is a coordinator, meeting coordinator from PSN training. So I thought he's the one joined, but it's you. Okay. Yeah. You're saying something, Satya?
You can hear me, right?
Your
Yeah,
voice is very
I'm not
feeble,
a
sir.
coordinator actually. I have to join.
Okay, okay.
Like I thought like it's remote.
Hey, I'm not sure.
Also, I want to know, is it only the desktop? Is it only
Satya, one second. Yeah, I'm losing
the
you.
desktop version is available as of now?
Your voice is not completely reaching me. It was partially reaching. It struck somewhere.
Is it clear now?
Seems clear. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. So, in this, only the desktop version is available in the Tableau, or any other version also available?
Yeah, we have Tableau server. We have two roles where you go to job or you go to a professional work sometimes. There are two things. One is desktop where we develop our reports and server where we deploy our reports. Both two are different, both are not same. If you want to choose as your role as a developer, you can just opt for Tableau desktop, and if you want to go as an administrator, Tableau server administrator, you can choose your role as a Tableau server administrator. But in my classes, I would be covering more. I mean, two things, both desktop and server. So you can choose which one that you understand more. But of course, you need both knowledge. Say if you are concentrating on server, you need at least 15% or 20% of desktop knowledge. Or if you are concentrating on desktop, you should require at least 10% of server knowledge.
Okay. So you will also help us to install it in our desktop over VMware or something like that. So is it be doable?
Yes, I could explain that, during our classes, like we have certain tools, I mean certain licenses which we can do, of course, for 15 days or 16 days of trial. Uh, Post that, yeah, we, of course, we could able to complete our trainings or our practices in that time. But if you still need that, we have public, which is similar to desktop, which would long last in your desktop. It doesn't require any license. That you could use that, if you want. I'll
Okay.
just tell you, where to install. I'll just forward you the URLs for that, and you can start from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So if we are good, like I'll just get into the demo part, and I'll pretty much cover what we're going to see in our next classes. So demo is more like, conveying what are the things that were there in Tableau, and of course, if you have any questions like this, we'll try to sort out in at the end of this meeting. Okay. So in our first class, we'll start with introducing Tableau to you. So of course, since you're familiar with the name, and you should require a little knowledge, why we are using Tableau, and of course, since you're coming from analytics background, so I don't think I could able to explain more on business intelligence concept, but of course, I'll try to explain what that I know, and then Tableau, what are the advantages when we see compare with other tools. So we have lot more which are pros, and of course we have few which are cons. So we'll just try to sort them out when we are introducing Tableau to you. And next come is products of Tableau. So of course any software tool or anything that releases have some kinds of products which we need to discuss, of course. So Tableau desktop, Tableau server are the major things. Okay. So Tableau desktop is the one that's being used to develop our dashboards or reports, and Tableau server, which is a kind of a platform where we could able to deploy our reports, and Tableau Online is a similar kind of server, but which is being maintained by Tableau people. Of course, a server that is being maintained by Tableau people is called online. Okay, so we can call it as a cloud-based server. So Tableau Online is nothing but a cloud-based Tableau server. And Tableau Reader, which can be installed on our machines, and which is a freeware, and which is used to read the reports. It's just only to read the reports. You cannot do any kind of modifications of in your reports. Okay, so of course, when we get into the products in our classes, I would give you a better examples for understanding, each product in detail. Okay. Hey, hold on. Give me a second. I have a call. 1 second. Hey, I'm sorry for that. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in the detailed level of products with examples, of course, will be discussed during our classes. Okay. So Tableau Public is the other one, which I was saying, which can be installed on our machines and which doesn't require any license part and can be used forever. Okay, so next come is getting started. So in our classes, like we pretty much cover desktop part initially, and then we'll get into server. Say if you have 15 hours of training, I could say 8 or 9 hours on desktop and remaining 7 or 6 hours on Tableau server. So there are more things to be discussed on desktop compared to server. That's why I'm splitting 60% of our time to desktop development. So getting started, which is with Tableau desktop, Tableau client, we can call another way. So we'll understand how we start our initial building a report. So first screen that you get is connecting to data sources. So it will allow you to connect to various data sources, and of course there are more things other than connecting to data sources. You have few things that you need to understand there, but I've not mentioned everything in each bullet. But of course, connecting to data source will again show you a lot more things, not only the connecting to data source. So this is what the environment is. So I could just give you a sample kind of thing. Yeah, this is what the initial screen that we get. So what I'm saying is this is what connect to data. So other than that, we have few more things where workbooks and open workbook, all the icons, and where do the sample workbooks coming in, and of course this is a direct link to the web where you could see a product tour and training videos in tableausoftware.com. And what are the saved data sources? Why do these appear here? All these things will be discussed at the same time as well. And what are there in the data? What are there in the server? What are there in the file? And of course what can you do with the help. Okay, so once you hit on connect data, this will take you to the various sources of data. Okay, so you know, right? So where we get data, data can be a file, which is an Excel, or it can be an Access database, or it can be a text file sometime. And if it is if the data is more and it's been maintained in servers, then you could see data residing in you know in IBM DB2 or MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, or Microsoft Analysis Services, OData, anything, SAP HANA, Teradata, or if you feel that, I think server-based data sources pretty much covered all Cloudera, Hadoop, Astro database, of course, almost all which are being used in current scenarios. But if you feel that your company is using their own database, they have built their own database and they were using that, so you have other databases which is nothing but ODBC connection. Okay, you could able to establish your connection there, and you can start using that. Okay, so that's what a quick connect to data source that we have. So we should be discussing that in detail as well. Okay, so next we have is connection type, so which is a live or extract. So what is the difference? And of course we have to quickly compare with other tools as well, whether we have the same capability of live and extract in other tools or no. So if they have, so what are the certain demands or certain limitations that we have? These can be discussed when we get into that part. And of course, extracting data. So Tableau has a nice thing called extracting data. So where in order to gain more performance in our dashboards or in our reports, Tableau uses a concept called extract. Okay, so which is nothing but, say, if you are facing a table, if you are connecting to a table in Teradata, and of course the performance depends on the server performance, not Tableau performance. Of course, if you have more users interacting with the Teradata, and of course you would get your report very slow. Okay, you could, I mean, you could see your report refreshing very slow because of huge traffic on server. So this extract concept, what it does is it will get a copy of your table to the certain conditions that you give there, and it will get as an Tableau data extract, which we call as TDE format, and it will keep in its own repository, and it will start reporting from there. So what happens is, if you get an extract, so you are now nowhere related to Teradata. Okay, so any query or any report or dashboard that you refresh based on this data source will be hitting Tableau extract only, not Teradata. So there are no external sources coming into that extract, so it will be dedicated to your report. So that way you could see more performance improvement when compared to others. Okay, so next is managing queries. So you should understand, since you're coming from SQL Server background or MySQL background, so you could understand how we
I
manage.
just have,
Yep.
I have one question. Actually, for example, what you're saying about extracting. For example, we are connected to
Uh,
Hadoop, Hive, for example.
okay.
Of extract actually, the data, the data in terms of Tableau, the data itself will reside in Tableau only instead of Hive. Once you get that connectivity, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so that means once you get the connectivity, then actually all the data and from there actually pops to the dashboard. Am I right?
Yes. All the data in the table will be coming as an extract into Tableau.
Okay, so no, once that is done, no more the connectivity between the Hive and Tableau required, because once you get all the data into Hive, actually Is the scenario?
I lost you somewhere. Can you repeat the question with little louder sound?
Yeah, sure. What I'm trying to say is actually, since all the data we will be getting into Tableau from the Hive, in case later there won't be any connectivity between Hive and Tableau also, that won't be an issue because we have.
I'm sorry, Satya. Like I got you till issue, so there won't be any, or there is some issue. That is what I got last, and later that I didn't hear you.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, uh, as you are saying in the Tableau itself, first during extract we'll get all the data from Hive.
Correct.
So once we get all the data from Hive, then actually the connectivity between the Hive and Tableau, it's not required.
Yeah, not required.
This is what my understanding.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if you get an extract, yeah, as you're saying, there is no requirement of connectivity, and of course you of course know because we may get our database loaded frequently. It can be hourly or daily or weekly or monthly. So based on your database loads, you have to schedule your extract. So we have a capability called scheduling or extract. So where say you get your extract today, and you got certain tables joined, and you have an extract of your Hive or Hadoop in your local or in your server, whatever it is. So you know that every day, either IST or EST evenings, you'll get your database loaded. Okay, so what you can do is, while extracting or while publishing, your Tableau will ask you whether you want to schedule your extract. So of course you have to schedule, right? Because your database is getting, or your table is getting, transactional data on daily basis. So you'll be scheduling that maybe a 1 hour after your loads get completed, or 2 hours after your loads get completed. Okay, so that way you could see a live data in your database in your extract as well. Whatever the live data in your database, you could see that in your extract as well. So they would be in sync. Okay, you won't lose anything if you get extract. Okay, I hope you understand.
Yeah, correct. I got it. But one more question I have.
Uh-huh.
In case of OLTP processing, that means for example, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a Java application and you have a Oracle as backend, for example, if you hit data like in case any insert updates, it will be immediate. Does the OLTP will get put because US
No, no, no. Satya, your voice is very low,
we need to
Satya.
load the
Sometimes I
data?
could hear very high, and sometimes it's going very low. Can you come closer to mic if you have possibility?
Okay, I think yeah, right. I am closer to my. What I'm trying to say is, we need to schedule the loading of the data
Correct.
or extracting
Again, I lost you. I'm not hearing you.
of the data every day. So does it
I lost you again. Can you send your question on chat if possible?
processing is nothing but immediate data? I don't know. Sure.
Uh, Satya, can you send your question on chat, please? Because I didn't understand,
Yeah,
or
I'm
I
doing.
didn't get you completely. I understood your question. So you have Tableau allows you to keep your extract for 5 minutes of time or 10 minutes of time, whatever the time that you want. So yeah, okay, okay. So that's what I'm saying. If it is a OLTP kind of things, instead of getting extract, there are two things I've already explained you, which is live and which is extract. So if in these cases and your database is loading on minute basis or second basis, then you should go with live connection, because Tableau extract will not help you in that way. You have to go with live connection. So the report or the dashboard will be pointing to your data source as a live one, and you could see the live data in your dashboard or report. Okay. Yeah, simple. Like I could say, for in these scenarios, we have to go with live, not extract. Okay. So yeah, fine. Thank you. So next thing is understanding data fields that we can see, and next to that we have data connection. So we see data sources. Once we connect to that, we call it as data connection. And what are the things that we could see while we are connecting to data, and how would we edit a connection. And we have certain things called data source filtering, where you could filter your data source to certain conditions that you want. Okay. And extracts and extract filtering. So when you're getting your extract, it's not like you have a table with 1 million rows, and of course you know that you are doing report for only a particular region, and you want data to be extracted for that region or that for that customer or whatever. Okay. So what happens is, you may know that that region or that customer will have only 10,000 records in our database out of 1 million. So it's not feasible to get extract of all 1 million data for that, where we know that we're doing report for only one region. So that way you could easily filter your extract, okay, to that level or to that region or to that customer, or to whatever that you want. Okay. So that is called extracts. And we have certain things called joins, which you're seeing in your database. So joins or something like inner join, left join, outer join, and right join. So Tableau again deal with joins because it need to connect to various tables in your database. So we need to have joins. And data blending is again an interesting concept, where sometimes your one table, of course your transactional table is in database, and your hierarchical table, it can be calendar or customer information, is in Excel. So you have a scenario that you have to maintain both in a different databases, one in Excel and one in database or Teradata. Okay. So what happens is you need to join them, you need to blend them. So that is called data blending. So you can connect to SQL Server, and parallelly you can connect to Excel, and you can define a column on which you can join both of them. Okay. So that blending concept is the important one that we need to discuss. Okay. And next is views. So we have, because we know that Tableau is popular only because of its visualization and its performance. Okay. So we should be discussing that in detail. So what is data views, and how would we build a view, and what is a show me? Show me is the ability that we have in Tableau, where you could where you could build your visualization in very short time. Okay. Labels, markouts, page shelf, all these things are part of your front end. I mean your Tableau. So you need to see what all these things, labels does, markout does, page shelf does, and and what are the different access, understanding, multiple access, single access, all these things. Okay. And you have things called hierarchies, groups, sets, bins, parameters, dynamic parameters. So again, these are the things that are being applied on dimensions or measures. So this is also very important when you're dealing with Tableau. So what scenarios that you use hierarchies, and where do you use parameters? Parameters are again the important concept which brings a lot of customization in your reports. Okay, so we have to understand parameters and dynamic parameters in detail, and sets, groups, all these things are also very important. Okay, so next we have is creating dashboard. So after we discussing all these things, we know now what is visualization, what are the types of visualization that Tableau has, and what are the parameters, and what are the groups, hierarchies, sets. So now you're ready to build your basic dashboard or first dashboard. So we'll start creating our dashboard from the scratch, and of course you need to create your report first, and from report you have to build your dashboard. So yeah, once we get into that topic, we'll be clearly explaining you with all these concepts. Okay, and organizing dashboards. How would you organize a dashboard? How would you make your dashboard in a presenting way, in a good look and feel way? You cannot simply drag and drop your reports in dashboard and can give it to end users. You have to organize them in a good format, in a nice way that end users should get impressed by seeing your look and feel. At the same time, you should be able to give enough information on their business to understand what's going on, and what's coming along or something. Okay, and layouts are again the important things in dashboard. So you need to understand how you use your layouts, blanks, and text inside your dashboard. And we have certain things called image and web page. So you should be aware of that. How would we use a image in our dashboard, and how would we link a web page in our dashboard? Okay, and next we have is file formats. File formats are certain things which are very important, because Tableau, we know that we work on our local machines or our remote VMs. So there is a file format for each thing that you do. So Tableau workbook, which we call as TWB, and Tableau packaged workbook TWBX, and Tableau data extract TDE, and Tableau data source TDS. Like this, we have many things. You have to understand what are the file formats, what are the different file formats that we have in Tableau. Okay, and also along with that, you have certain filters. Okay, quick filters, or filtering your report, or filtering your dashboard, filtering your data. Okay, these are again a very important concept. Filters are local filters, global filters, quick filters, filters as buttons, and what are the types of different types of views in quick filter, of course. So these should be discussed in a separate class. So this is called a filtering. And next we have is advanced level, like calculations. Okay, so this comes in advanced analysis. So calculations, aggregations, total. Calculations are nothing but derived columns. So you have seen your reporting, I think. So here we call them as calculated fields, okay, which are called derived calculations. So we have advanced things called table calculations, type conversions, and all these things, and customizing a table calculation. So that needs to be discussed, but nothing are tough here. Understanding is very easy in terms of calculated fields. everything that is straightforward. You don't want to confuse yourself, and there is no high requirement of R&D here. So it's very straightforward. All the functions are given with an examples, like how we do our analysis, or um, how we derive our formulas in Excel with the existing functions. It's in similar way. Okay. So, and table calculations are little tricky. You have to understand what are table calculations and how that can be used in our report. Okay. So next we go with the forecasting our data. How would we forecast our data, and how would we work with time series data, and what are the background image? How would we come up with our background images? And of course Tableau deal with maps. Okay, your data, say you have your business running globally, and you need to show your sales or profit in a map, in a geographical representation. So you need to deal with maps, advanced mapping concepts. So this should be discussed in detail as well. Okay. And the storyboard, which is a new concept in Tableau 8.2, so you have to be familiar with that. And the workbook themes, you have 3 or 2 different workbook themes, so you should be understanding those workbook themes and when to use what. Okay. And next is replacing a data source. So you have 2 data sources. You could able to replace them whenever that you want. So I cannot give you a clear explanation here, but of course in our classes, like, I'll show you how that can be used. Okay. And few others, like repository, like how would we find a repository location and working with different shapes. You have, of course, if you go to tablewsoftware.com, and if you see various reports or various dashboards existing there, you could understand what is the use of shapes and what is the use of all these cycle fields, all these things. So yeah. And next we have is server. So this is what till 9th class we'll cover our desktop part, and once we are done with that, we'll get into server. So I've already told you that server is a platform where all the reports in our desktop are residing. Okay, from our desktop or residing. So once you're done with your dashboarding or desktop development, you know that you cannot keep it yourself, you have to share with your end user. Okay, so in that way you have to have your Tableau server where you can put your report in your server, and end user can access server if we have if you have access, and he or she will just see the report and understand how the business is performing. Okay, so more or less, like, Tableau server is used to share your views. Okay, share your dashboards or share your reports. Okay, and you have to understand the basic difference between Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So that will be discussed in detail as well. And of course Tableau server and Tableau online. So I've already told you Tableau server is a local server or local deployment, whereas Tableau online is a cloud-based server which is being maintained by Tableau. Okay. And the speed of delivery, how would you ensure that and the speed of delivery is in peaks, and the end user is satisfied with the performance. So that is a role, that is a responsibility of a Tableau server administrator. Okay. And the basic server configuration, and what are the system requirements that are required to install your server, and what types of authentications, and what are the concepts like processor, backgrounder, all these modules are there in server. Components we call them as. So these components should be discussed very very deep, because those are very important in order to run your Tableau server in a in a perfect way. Okay, and how would we do your metadata management and browsing a server? So how do you browse your server? So there are certain things where you could browse your server from your local machine, or logging into your server machine, whatever it is. Okay, so and then as an administrator, what are your major tasks? Start, stop, uh, how to start a server and stop the server, and how would you monitor the regular refreshes happening. Okay, and if you see any failures of refresh or extract, you have to root cause and fix that. And yeah, you have to fix that. And sites, projects, groups, and user management is again a concept in Tableau server, okay, which ought to be discussed. Okay, and of course you know that if you are maintaining a server with your desktop with some data, you have to have a regular performance monitoring, and of course a backup should be taken uh, daily or weekly or monthly. Hard or hard or cold backups, we call them as support and maintenance. So as a Tableau server administrator, you should give proper support and maintenance of the server. Okay, and at last we'll see a Tableau server end user training. So since you're being a server administrator, you should be trained, or you should be able to train the end user how to log into the server, how to interact with the reports, how can he navigate from one project to other project, and how could he subscribe to that report, or how can he share that report with the other folks, and what are the types of permissions that he has. Okay, and how could he download a report in our local machine into his local machine. Okay, this is again end user training that you should be familiar with, and you have to train the end user as well. And once we are done with that part, we are almost done with server, and finally we'll have a quick wrap-up call on what things that we have discussed in desktop and what things that we have discussed in server. Okay, along with installation and user training and all these things. And finally we'll spend some time to deal with interview questions. What are the most asked questions, and how could you practically answer them? That would really help you uh, in analyzing the mind of interviewer, because since the tool is very new, and you don't get a lot of questions. Things that you get is very straightforward, and they require a straightforward answer from you. So that we'll be discussing in our interview questions part. Okay. This is what we have in demo. So everything that's been covered in demo will be covered in our classes. I am not I sure nothing will get missed. Okay, whatever that you see in Tableau desktop, each thing, like whatever that you see in file edit, in anything, say for example, if you see here a lot of things, and if you see a Windows server, format, map, analysis, story, dashboard, so everything will be covered. I don't miss anything. And of course, if you have any questions, you could ask me during our classes. And in this demo, if you feel that you have not understand something, or if I have missed something which about Tableau, you could just tell me. I'll try to add them in our classes. So I'm open to questions now. You can ask me questions if you have anything. Can you go lesson one slide once? Yeah, I'll go. Yes. Uh, yeah, Satya, I'm on lesson one.
Yeah, actually, here one question I have is how we are dealing, but in the general, in the current market, the people are using the Tableau for more for live or more for extract.
No, no. What is the question? How we deal in current market?
Yeah, in the current market, the Tableau tool is being used more for live or more for extract.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's a good question. So, it doesn't depend on market. It depends on the requirement. Say, I have two things. I work on Teradata and I work on analysis services. No, Microsoft analysis services. So Teradata, I know that I have to get extract because my data is only daily basis. Okay, daily, CST evening refresh. So I'll be refreshing my report to CST mornings around 6 o'clock. So my refresh will get completed by max 7 o'clock. And I could have a live data which is there in database to the end user. Okay, so that is one requirement. And my SQL Server analysis services is a live connection because the data is very transactional. It comes from SAP environment where the data keeps changing in regular intervals. So I have a live connection there. So my report will get refreshed as soon as the end users see that. It depends on kind of database or kind of transactional data that we are working with. It supports both. Tableau supports both.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Any
Okay,
questions other than this?
and also like
What is it?
how many hours per day? Like how many hours
Okay.
per day? Like how you are planning? Like when you will be starting the training?
Yeah, usually it's kind of 16 hours. If I only speak and if I only deal with our classes, it will be only 16 hours. So I could just cover desktop and server part completely, and I can just close the classes. But if it is a kind of interaction between us, you're coming with a lot of practice and a lot of questions to me in our classes, then it would take couple of days more or couple of hours more. It can last till 20 hours or 22 hours, depends on how interactive that we are, and the questions that you people asking me. So usually if it's a one-way talk, then it will be only 16 hours of training.
Okay, so when you will be doing helping us in doing the setup in the initial class itself, like how you are planning to do that,
uh, Initial I didn't get
so
you.
that like we can also actually we need to have a setup in our machine so that we can also hands-on have a hands-on in machine along with your training every day.
Yes, yes, I assure. No, I guarantee that I'm sending you a couple of dashboards or a couple of reports for each of our class, so that you can try to replicate them in your end. And I see every report. I don't have PPT for our classes, so this is the only PPT that I have. So once we start our classes, I'll be dealing only with desktop environment. So I would show you all the things in detail, in hands-on from my end, and I will share the same workbook or same report to you. You have to replicate in your end, and while replicating, if you face any questions, we'll discuss. If you face any issues or if you're stuck somewhere, you can just send me an email, and if I'm not responding, then anyway we are meeting next day, so you can ask the question sharing your screen on the next day.
Okay, so Krishna,
Okay, so in the initial day only, like
you will be set up the machine. Set up the software in our VM maybe.
Huh. setting up a software is not in VM. You can just install on your machine as well, your computer. As I told you earlier, it's been only a 15 days of trial, 14 to 15 days of trial of desktop, which is a freeware. You can work, you can have a workaround with that. As soon as we complete our class, I think you'll be familiar with all the concepts in desktop, and of course once you're done with that, uh, after 10 days you can install server, which is also again a freeware for 15, not freeware, it's a trial for 15 days, so you can practice more on that server. So still after this you want a more practice or enough practice, then you can install Tableau public on your mission again. Okay, so where it will have the same look and feel, but few limitations, like not limitations, few capabilities were disabled, but that doesn't impact our learning. So you can use the Tableau, so sorry, Tableau public for next days, after the trial version get completed. I mean, what I'm saying is there is no requirement of VMs, so I'll just forward you the URLs. You can just install on your machines as well.
Okay, and also this,
What is that?
you'll be providing the soft copy of the materials like all the any
Yes.
other books, or I mean what kind of materials you will be providing for our.
I don't have any specific material that is being designed by me. But the advantage with this is we have a knowledge base in Tableau, so I will be just getting those details from web, and I will find out which are the useful materials for us, our understandings, and I'll share those PDFs or those things with you, so that you can start learning from there. Okay, I have not designed anything specific to our classes. All that we have is in web, so I'll just find out where those are and I'll share the links to you. You can download from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so thanks. Abhishek, you have any questions or?
No, that's it from my end. Satya has asked the questions.
Okay, so
Yeah. Also, when the class, so when the training will start, I mean, and the timing.
uh, timing would be in the mornings always. So I'll be free in the mornings, IST morning till 11, 12 or 12:30. So you can decide your time and you can give the time to PSN, so that they would come back to me and they'll schedule the meeting between us. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
so when is the tentative date to start it?
uh, Probably no, tomorrow. I'm fine with from tomorrow. Yeah.
Actually, for myself, I'll be traveling on weekend. It's a New Year Eve, right? So,
Okay.
so I'm just thinking.
Yeah, we'll if possible, like we'll start tomorrow, or if you want to have some time and we can start on Monday or Tuesday sometime, yeah, we could do that. I have no issues.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday after New Year, bad.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I will get into with PSN and I will intimate you even.
Okay, so yeah, you touch base with PSN again, and you can come with certain time and certain date. I'll tell my possibilities, and we can start from there. Okay, so anything else?
Yeah, that will be great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. So fine. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Bye.